Hello, everyone on BG3 Toolkit. Since Matt had asked me to make a guide regarding adding a custom character, I thought I might as well. I haven't gotten dialogue yet to working yesterday when I worked, but I'll see if I can get it done today. Looking forward to using the new guide, but yeah, I'm just seeing it is shown here. Have set up recruitment dialogue. The dialogue just doesn't work, but that's not important for this though. So the first thing you would need is a root template. I can actually find it. So I made one called S underscore, which is what all the origins are called. I'm not sure if it's needed if you need a unique origin. We'll get back to that. But if you want a customizable one like Dark Urge, it should not be necessary. I'll just select so you can actually see. I have animation type, take everything, character visual resource. If you want a customizable, I would presume you would need to have one of the base models. I'm not going through how to set it up because of explicit limitations. Display name in the area here. This is important that UID, if you want a unique one, you would need this one instead of the template one down here. But that will also require you to make it global. I'm not promising you the guide will be correct for making a what is called a unique custom origin, because I have had issues with it, and I'm not entirely sure when it was fixed. Well, one of the things I did was to add Shadowheart's portrait here, as you can see, the portrait visuals. The root template is, of course, the template down here. Some tags, which I added Dragonborn and Humanoid, but I probably should actually, now that I think about it, my origin what is it, tags? Something about AI, I don't know. Pickpocket, I don't think most of these matters. Equipment matters. If you are, what is it, origin characters, you place them in the world and they appear, they will be equipped with this and not the actual, what is it called? Equipment you set up in the origin. I also would just say look at one of the other origins and copy. I'm not sure what the icon is, and it keeps giving me errors, but I just put it in there using what is it, the Dragonborn's Lightning Breath. Down here I have a raise. I again put in the portrait generation trigger. If you flag player, your players will have control over the character as soon as it's available. So if it's a companion, you would not want that to happen, and instead change it through a flag or something. Down here you have speaker groups. I've given it origins, party members, players, and of course Dragonborn, because it's raise. You will have to fix that on your own. Spells might be important if you're trying to add spells up, because originally when I added the Warlock class and subclass to the origin, it had issues actually putting in starting spells. So I have just copied Will's reference. I'm not entirely sure, because at that point I actually didn't want to look into it because I spent a lot of time. Then we have the stats, which is templated stats. For example, if you look at Shadowheart here, she has a template called POC, Player Cleric, and walk through some animation things. I don't think that's super important to what we're trying to do. And default was it, noises and stuff. The main thing here is just so you can see whatever setting is. For setting up an actual origin, you will need to go into the Unified Object Editor and find the tab Origins, open it up, and add a new entry. It will, just for purpose of ensuring, if I add a new entry, it will add a new UID itself. We'll just delete it because I'll just go with what everything does. Come on. Why won't you delete? I'll just not save it and open it up again. That's fine. Here you have the name of the character, which will also be the name it starts with in the actual game when you open it up. Unique will make it harder to get in your character, but it will also potentially disable customization and other thing. For example, the Dark Urge is not unique. His henchman is a flag for his henchman. It's not. I don't know exactly what it does in the context. Available in character. Well, unavailable shows them, but makes them unavailable. Available makes them available. Hidden just means they cannot be seen. For example, Halsing is a hidden character. I think actually that must be the internal name. Display name must be the name. Description is the small description underneath where you play the background. Body types, just male or female. Standard unless, yeah. Actually, I'm not sure how that would work with, say, Dragonborn. I think there's only male or female. Identity, if you want a different identity. Lock, body, and other locks only works if you're unique. Race ID refers to the actual race, and I believe that is, yeah, that must be under shared, I guess. No, it must, yeah, shared. Oh, shared dev, because Dragonborn, for example, was added later. So if I go in under race here and find Dragonborn, or Dragonborn, then you can see I have this UI 9C61, and for sub-race, which is Blue Dragonborn, 2103, which should be here. Actually, no, that's brass. Here we go, 2103, etc., etc., which is the blue one, which adds the progression table here, which is the racial traits. And here's the default equipment. That is, I presume, is only relevant to non-unique. Actually, no, yeah, there must be. I'm not sure about that. It's been a long time since I worked with non-unique. Log race cannot change race. Background ID goes into backgrounds and adds the background. That must be under shared, I think. Here, so it should have the noble, I believe. Well, maybe we should actually add a custom background, but that's not super important right now. God UI specifies which god they're connected to. You will have to find the god tab somewhere in here. No, deity tab, I believe it's called. Or is it under stats? I don't remember. I'm not going to look it up. Class and subclass UI refers to the progression tab. Keep in mind they're split between the two, so for the purpose of this, I had an issue with the war class if you just add it directly, because it doesn't automatically add spells. I think it would for prepared spellcasters like, say, clerics, but don't quote me on that. So if we find the progressions and open progression and find Warlock, I'm not sure it works correctly because this is specifically referring to, as you can see, it's not the same tag here. Because it's referring to Will's entry because it automatically adds his spells, but you can see it unlocks Warlock spells, resources, etc. and skill selection. And instead I just put in Will's entry. But this is the general idea. It's not these out here, it's the table ID you need. And then I added the Fiend table, which should be the same. No? Nice. Oh, I added also, yeah, I just copied Will's, but it should work, because I originally used it. Then again, I couldn't recruit him a level up, but I presume they don't have any spells added initially because of, what is it called? Because it cannot automatically choose things when you're assigned the first level. Global template refers to if you're using a global character, one that cannot be edited. Keep in mind there might be issues if you try to launch the game and stop the character. I have had issues. Else you can use a default template which will try to default your character to your resource you're using. Well, it'll probably have problems if you don't use one of the default character things. These are passives for player characters specifically, which in this case is Death Saving Throw. You probably want that. These are flags. You don't need these, but they're useful for scripting, so they get assigned to the character. Appearance locked. Why is that not yes? I think these three are related to how the camera moves. This is a reference to starting equipment. I haven't edited either of these, but these are both the Dark Urge voice tables. The last table is if you want to exclude other origins. So, for example, if we went in and saw the origin where the actual origins are in, you would see that Karlach and Will has each other in there. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, stat template. That's probably mostly useful for I probably have to actually look into, I don't like the stat template, but when you actually go into starting up the game, but you would also need to have stats for your character. As if we went down here, you can see I have his stat here from. It will not use those most of those stats, I think, if you're using the creation and the start. But as you can see, starting level, blah blah blah, stats, armor class. This is armor class without equipment. Hit points, side, point of view, weight, and this should probably be actually around 150. Dragon ones are heavier than normal, not super important. Game size, medium, clawed, and here you can take some more specific if your character has a different sound. I would just suggest copying some other sneaking about obscurity is a flag for player characters. Same as this one, lock HP, undead constructs. I think that is related to a cure wound flag. You have some other things where I added a lot of spells to actual NPC spell class for a level 12 version of it, meant to be in the world. This is something about AI. Standard proficiency is fine. If you want a high, you can change it in the next window, even though it's not relevant for this. Spellcasting. So if you don't have a class assigned with spellcasting, it will default to the spellcasting ability here. Same with throwing and strength, default resources. This is what I'd suggest adding in. Action point, bonus action point. Movement 9 is 30 feet, and a reaction class. Passives, we have here short rest, non-lethal, weapon throw, perform, attack, opportunity, darkness rules, and combat attack. Here we have all the resistances. Since I have a feature that adds lightning resistance, I do not need to add it in here. Progression, that should refer to, let me just double check that. Oh, this is referring to the all. No, no, it's referring to I think that must be referring to he does have warlike abilities when he fights. This must be wills. So what is this referring to? I might also copy it for will. I don't actually remember now, but you could put in subclasses and it will get all the passive features. These are just default values, dark vision, blood, land, default. This is about, I think, about sound of getting hit, proficiency, if you want to add that. Not sure what this is. These are related to difficulty bonuses. In this case, player characters only have the health bonus when they are on easy. I think that is about it. I just need to clip in a showcase, I suppose. So I'll clip that in a second.